Hello everyone. I'm Deepa Nishal. I'm a certified life coach, clinical hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, and a child counselor. Today, I'll talk about a very important topic: how to raise high EQ kids. We all understand in the current scenario, EQ is very crucial, much more than having a high IQ. One of the most important things that you can do for your child is to help them manage their emotions. But it is just not an easy thing to teach. Establishing respect for emotion is the most important parenting task that you have to do as a parent. If you and your partner treat each other and the kids with emotional awareness, empathy, your children will surely enjoy strong mental health, satisfying relationships, and a rewarding work life. Remember that you just cannot convey what you don't represent. Your children learn from your actions much more than your words. If you yourself are exhausted and depressed, your children will be depressed too. So keep yourself healthy if you want to raise healthy children. To raise emotionally intelligent child, you need to ensure that you provide ample opportunities to your kids to authentically feel a range of feelings. Let them give a chance to reflect on their feelings and decisions. Let them solve problems as they grow and learn. Let them interact in different social situations. It's important for them to experience negative feelings without being offered a quick fix. So, what are some ways parents can help children understand and manage emotions and feelings? The most important way is to talk and listen. Discuss feelings and emotions as they arise, not to lecture, but to give your child important information about how connecting, how they feel to how they are reacting, and also what they are observing in others. Remember not to argue over the facts. Feelings are just not logical. Everyone's feelings and reactions are different and valid. You should not expect a child to know how to handle emotions when you yourself have problems dealing after decades of experience. Don't immediately try to fix things. Avoid telling your children how they should feel. For example, if your child complains they are feeling low, reflect that back to them. Oh, you are feeling low. You are feeling low now? It is just not helpful to tell a child that this situation is not to feel low. Don't feel that way. If we tell our children how to feel and that differs from what they are actually feeling, they will begin to get confused about their own feeling. When we tell our children we understand how they feel validated. It becomes easier for them to move on from what has upset them. We also model empathy and give them about information about the emotion. These simple phrases, these simple sentences help our children to get free from the emotional feeling, emotional turmoil that they feel, and give them the clarity that they need to solve the problem. Whenever you see that your sweet child is acting up, the wrong way to respond is to tell them that they are doing something wrong, because no matter what words you use, they just won't hear you. The best way is to let them make their own mistakes and let them learn from them. Also remember, never shame your child as a means to teach them better behavior. Such an approach to discipline will not help your child learn how to really address, recognize, and better manage their emotions. Whenever children become frustrated, anxious, angry, sad, especially in the public areas, more than anything, they need empathy and reassurance that you love them. You love them unconditionally. Compassion and empathy tend to support children so that they move from their feelings and restore back to the state of balance. This also models children to how to deal with strong emotions by showing your kids how we can stay calm and how we express our emotions. They can learn to do the same way. It's important to discuss the social issues with the kids. Talk to your children about the people in need. Discuss how they can help the less fortunate, people with the special needs, or how would they react if they see their peers getting being bullied up. This will better the chances they will respond similarly when such an opportunity arises. Again, all feelings are acceptable, but all behavior is not. You need to set limits. After you have listened empathetically, set limits on any bad behavior, it's time and it's important to fix the things. This is another skill you want to help them develop. You won't be always there to tell them what to do. So encourage them to come up with the ideas. Guide them to a solution in a line with your values that is effective and takes other people's feelings into consideration. This is how emotionally intelligent kids become more resourceful and responsible children. If we see that the child is throwing some temper tantrums, the best way is to ignore these happenings completely. That's the best response because it sends the message that you refuse to be manipulated, even if your child is upset. Sometimes kids want everything they see, including everything they don't even need, or probably they don't ever use it. Ask yourself, are we loving this child the way this child needs to be loved? A very important part in raising the kid is their adolescent age. Adolescent creates difficulties for many families because no one knows exactly how to approach the enormous changes that teenagers are going through. Children naturally pull away from you as they pass into adulthood, but you will be eager to see that they get there safe. You will need all your empathy to remain understanding when the hormonal changes turns your adorable kids into unpredictable, irritable rebels. Try to be the source of security and wisdom that your teenagers will need much more than ever before. Give your teenagers a job that they can do well. If they have to become independent and self reliant, they must have a strong sense of self worth, which you can only instill by relying on them in some tangible way. Always apologize whenever you have been wrong, even in small ways. Apologizing when you have made a mistake shows your teenagers that you respect them as mature people. It will relieve their fear of appearing awkward by modeling acceptance of our weaknesses and prevents resentments from piling up between them. It's important to stay emotionally involved with your teen, demonstrating that you care. But it is equally important to avoid overreacting, which will only push your child away and shut down the communication any further. Before you decide to ask your teenager to change some behavior that bothers you, analyze your child's body language and their facial expressions so that you fully understand the child's mood and imagine the child's emotional response to your request. If you image the child becoming upset, think about what the child finds threatening, embarrassing, or difficult about the topic. In other words, how does the child feel and how does this explain the child's bothersome behavior? The empathetic insight you gain from this particular exercise greatly improves your chances of getting through to your teenage. Emotionally intelligent children not only recognize and manage their own feelings, they are also able to understand emotional states of others. Emotional intelligence is extremely important for healthy development of an individual. Thank you. Stay blessed.